Hi, welcome to Let's Talk. Today I'm joined by Sarah from Dundee Carers Centre, and we're going to hear about what their plans are for Mental Health Week this year. Hi, Sarah.
Hi there, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming along, Sarah. It's good to see you again. So, Sarah, what are your plans for this year's Mental Health Awareness Week?
So, Mental Health Awareness Week's running from the week beginning the 12th of May, and we have a variety of things going on online, some tips and resources, and then some in-person events as well. So what you can expect throughout the week is there will be a lot of features on our social media platforms. So we'll be sharing some tips and tricks for managing anxiety, looking after your mental well-being and promoting self-care. So there'll be a variety of different videos throughout the week with different staff members that can also be accessed via the Dundee Carers Centre YouTube channel. But one of the biggest things of the week will be on Tuesday the 13th of May, where we will be having our carers event that day to support mental wellbeing. So this is based on feedback from the last event. So last year we had our walk and talk event. So feedback from that was there was a lot of themes around identifying coping strategies for managing mental wellbeing, and there was also a lot of burnout and carers guilt. And what we mean by carers guilt is there was a lot of guilt around putting ourselves first and taking some time out for ourselves. So based on that, we're inviting carers to come along on Tuesday from 10:15 to get in, get settled, and we will do a little presentation on managing guilt, exploring that and some coping strategies around that. And then that will be followed by hopefully a really exciting activity where we've luckily had some funding and resources to get some really nice items where we're going to use the whole of the bottom floor of the centre. So there'll be a chance to get up and collect a bag from the Carers Centre and to create a mental health first aid bag. So it's that idea that we often maybe look after our physical health without thinking about it. We maybe have a first aid bag at home. We maybe have plasters for a cut. We maybe have medicine for when we're not feeling well, but we can't always say that about our mental health. So the idea is that we'll pick up a bag and you've got the opportunity to mix and mingle with other carers and staff and go around the different rooms and fill up your bag with some items that might support your mental well-being. And it's something that you can keep adding to over the years or as you leave and share it with other people. And we will finish off with a nice lunch and a chance to mingle with everybody. So should hopefully be a really exciting event and looking forward to that. You can also expect to find out what we're already doing to support people in the community and groups that we're running. So there will be a splash on social media of our community groups and workshops that run, and you'll get to hear a little bit from people that already access the groups, how they benefit and what they might say to encourage you along. So most people will hopefully be wearing green throughout the week as well. That's the colour for mental health. So we'll also hopefully see splashes of colour. And then to round off as well, because staff mental wellbeing is important as well, we're human beings as well. We need to work hard at our mental health every day as well. It's just as important. So we want to lead by that example. So we'll also have a staff event on the Thursday of that week as well to practice what we preach and look after ourselves as well. So lots going on.
Lots. Very, 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 very good, Sarah. It sounds amazing and a fun-filled week for everybody to get involved in. Now, we know based on obviously last year's Mental Health Week, we were here doing the same chat and we put up resources online and that as well. I know they were very popular. So, yeah, please, as Sarah said, revisit these on our YouTube channel, on our web pages and that as well. You'll find all these different resources that you can use. So for people to access online or in person, there's something for everybody for that week, like you say, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you would like to come along to the event, you can either just let a staff member that you're currently working with know and they can sign you up. You can drop into the centre to ask more questions, or you can phone reception to sign you up. But equally, if you do decide last minute that you do want to come on the day, we certainly won't turn you away, just so we have an idea for numbers. But we hope to encourage as many people along as we possibly can.
Great. Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, Sarah, I know we have this chat every year about Mental Health Week, but as we know, mental health is not just for a week; it is for the whole year. So, what other things does the centre do to support people with their mental health, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a variety of things to support mental health throughout the centre, but the theme of mental health this week and particular is community. So each year there is a particular area of focus, because mental health means different things to different people, and it can be impacted in absolutely different ways. So there absolutely is individual things that you can access at the centre to support your individual mental health, such as one-to-one support work, coming to the counselling service, accessing short breaks. But with the theme this year being community, that is the idea that there is a sense of belonging, feeling part of something, feeling connected to others, and feeling less lonely with that, and being able to relate to other people with maybe similar experiences. So there's a variety of things at the centre that supports that, and you can find out more information on those events and when they're taking place by going on the Dundee Carers Centre website and looking at the What's On guide to see what groups are on regularly. But equally, you can go to the Carers of Dundee website as well, where it tells you all the upcoming events in your locality. So just to highlight a few is that we do have our Lifeline group, which is for carers supporting someone with challenges around dependency. We have our Happy Feet walking group, our creative writing group, and we've also got our Men's Carers Club as well running. And then in each of the different localities in Dundee, we do also have our carers cafes. So again, you can refer to the website to find out when the cafe in your local area is on, or by speaking to staff. And we also do have our group work programme that is run by Katie and Tom. And that is an opportunity to have a welcoming space where carers can connect, share experiences, gain practical advice on their journey. It's a 6-week programme where there's also sometimes one-off bite sizes, but it's an opportunity to get a bit of peer support and draw on your skills and experience, but also sharing in maybe gaps in your knowledge that you don't have. So it's an opportunity to come together, and it might cover topics such as finding out what carers' rights are, money saving tips, and other local services. And there's an opportunity to decide on what you might like out of the group. So things like practicing self-care, inviting guest speakers to work on specialised areas such as autism. But the programmes are there to boost mental well-being, build that sense of community, and it provides carers the opportunity to support each other and have that sense of belonging. So a variety of different things, and we'll certainly touch more on that throughout Mental Health Week as well. But these are things that take place consistently.
Good, yeah. And these, like Sarah says, they are very well advertised. They are available within the centre, paper copies of or What's On guides. And yeah, just pop in and just find out a bit more about it. Ask the staff at the reception what's on and what's going on. Yeah, there's lots to get involved in. Because as we know, it's very important to look after your own mental health, and that could just be, like you say, chatting to somebody else about things, and or anything, being part of a group. So yeah, these little things can make such a big difference. Absolutely. So Sarah, you have discussed there's lots happening this week, which is really good to hear about. We'll pop all the details in the comment section below where you can find out more about this, but a lot of it is across our social media channels, so you'll find it out there. Now, Sarah, what would you say to people to encourage them to come along, especially because a lot of people might feel a bit nervous. They might be feeling really anxious about coming along to certain groups or things like that. So what would you say to them just to make them feel a bit better about that and just to encourage them to do something?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it can be really scary taking that first step to acknowledge that you want to look after your mental health more, or mental health is something that you find challenging. It might also be about someone that you know has low mental health or someone that you support. So mental health can touch us in a variety of different ways, both personally or through supporting someone else. So it can be a really scary and daunting thing. And it tends to be easier to look after our physical health, as I mentioned before, much easier than our mental well-being. And as much as we do these awareness raising events each year, it can still be difficult to reach out and acknowledge these things. And while it's getting better, there can still be that little scary stigma around it and the fear of what other people think. But what I want to reiterate is that this year the theme is community, which means that you aren't alone. And it can be scary taking that first step. And often the challenge is, first of all, making the decision to come along. And the next step is getting yourself through that door. But what most people tend to find is once they've made it through the door, they are absolutely glad that they managed to come along, and they might find out that there's people that they connect with. You might learn a new skill. You might take away things that you can share with other people, and then these skills are transferable in the community. But equally, it's an opportunity to maybe come and meet some staff and ask some questions as well. But the hope is realizing that actually no one is alone out there, even though it might feel like that. But mental health is something that we're all responsible for. We're responsible for looking after ourselves. We're responsible for checking in on our family, friends, colleagues. And by all talking about it and acknowledging it, just that one person by saying, do you know what, I'm struggling, could make the difference to someone else. And just because we're staff members doesn't mean that we always have the answers. Just because we work in this sector, we do absolutely care, but it doesn't mean that we don't have to look after our own mental health. So it's very much practicing what we preach, and that we are here for you and we want to share in your experiences. So if you are a little bit nervous coming along and you want to bring someone with you to support you, please do that. Or if you do have a staff member that you know and work with and you want to arrange to meet them beforehand or after to check in, these are certainly options. Or equally, if you just want to give a phone to the centre and get a little bit more information or things that we can do to support you to come along, that are certainly all options. So please have a think about what's best for you and what might work for you. Each individual might be impacted differently, and you might have different things in place to support you and get you along. But if you feel that you're lacking that support to get along here, then please give us a little phone and let's look at options to help support you, get you here, because you matter, everybody does matter, and we want to come together and look after each other as a community, as a carers centre, and as individuals and human beings.
Yeah, definitely, Sarah, definitely, 100%. And I think that's it. I mean, we're all in this together, as everybody says. And yeah, the centre is very accessible. It's on the Seagate, across from the bus station. And even you want to pop past before that, just to kind of a wee look, just to see what it looks like. And yeah, just if that was to settle you a little bit, you're more than welcome to do so. So yeah, well, Sarah, thank you once again. It all sounds great, what you've got planned for this week. And I'm looking forward to being part of some of it myself as well. So yeah, if you want to find out more, please do get in touch with us. Like I said, contact details, email addresses, web pages, that in the comment section below. So yeah, we hope to see some of you there. Okay, Sarah, thanks for talking to me today, and all the best for this week.